What's up, y'all? It's Khadija here with Nursekayexplains. I'm going to be going over the nursing student essentials, my top picks. So a question I get a lot is like, what brand of stethoscope should I get? Or what, NCLEX review book should I use? People always ask me like, what are my recommendations and things like that. I get hooked up on trying to buy an expensive stethoscope. And the reason why I say this is because think about this. When you're in clinical, you're going to be going to different clinical at different facilities. So the likelihood of you losing your stethoscope is very high. You're bouncing around from unit to unit, from hospital to hospital. However, you do need a stethoscope that works, you know what I'm saying? Because you want to be able to listen to like good quality lung sounds, heart tones, and things like that. My recommendations is the Littman Light. This typically prices around like $60. They have various different colors. It's very lightweight. You can hear your sounds very, very good. Another one I recommend, the MDF Acoustica Lightweight. That's also a good one. Like I actually listened to that by mistake. I left my stethoscope at home, and this is the stethoscope that our unit has, like if a nurse doesn't have theirs. And I was actually very impressed. This was cheaper. It typically runs for about $25. Now I live by the Littman Light. This is actually very comparable to that in my opinion, as far as the quality of the sounds, and it's cheaper. It's like literally half the price. Of course, if you're feeling fancy or if you need a good graduation gift, you can ask your support system to get you the Littman Classic 3. That one's a little bit more heavyweight. The sound quality is really, really good. However, like I said, like this one's gonna run in like the $100 range. Well, I always recommend the Littman Light or the MDF Lightweight Acoustica if you are a new graduate or if you're in nursing school. But like I said, once you graduate, if you're a new graduate, you can also get the Littman Classic 3. That is a very good stethoscope. It's a little bit more heavier than the Littman Light, but the quality is there. Now, as far as dosage calculations, the Nursing Dosage Calculation Workbook. This is like my #1 recommended product if you are getting to dosage calculations. Now, of course, you can always come to my page, but something that I utilize with my students is actually this workbook here. It's inexpensive. It runs you about $16 to $20. It fluctuates on Amazon. Yeah, you can utilize my dosage calculation notes in conjunction with this workbook, but this workbook is just giving you a whole bunch of dosage calculation problems to work through and practice with. They go over rounding, advanced like IV flow rate dosage calculations, basic like one-step dosage calculations. And they have, the answers in the back of the book as well. The other top question is, what is a resource you recommend for pharmacology? I don't like spending out money. So I always recommend using your pharmacology concept map. I have one on my website that's free, but you can find these, anywhere. Like you can get them cheap on Canva if you like a particular design. You can also just make your own from scratch, and then you can just make sure you make copies of that. I also recommend using that in conjunction with your disease concept map, which is also free on my website, and your textbook. So you pull from your textbook, put all the information that's pertinent onto your pharmacology concept map along with your disease concept map, and most of my students do pretty well utilizing that. They typically don't have to get an outside resource for the pharmacology. However, if you just feel like you want something in addition to that, it's also the top 200 drugs made easy. You can also utilize that. It is a good resource. It is a good book. If you have the extra funds, I would get it, but try doing what I suggest at first, okay? So now we're gonna talk about study materials. I recommend getting a study tray or a study desk. This will help you, like that way you can like stay in your bed. We know that like space is limited, specifically if you're in a dorm. So both of these things are very compact. They're easy to store. It's multifunctional. Okay, and it's definitely something that you can utilize while you're in school if you don't want to, traditionally just sit at your desk. So for clinical, now y'all know I'm an advocate of the report sheets, which I have on my website. However, a lot of times in clinical, you're writing more than what you will need on like a bedside unit. So I do have this TribeRN Ultimate Nursing clipboard. It's multifunctional. You can use it as like an actual clipboard or to store, like I said, your iPad or books in or any of your paperwork. And it comes with the reference sheets, which you can also utilize as well during your clinical setting. iPad or a laptop. more people are pushing, utilizing their iPads more, or a tablet. A lot of students are utilizing the iPad for their notes. And if you download like anything that I have on my website, like my concept maps for pharmacology or my concept maps for disease processes, you can also write on those. They're editable, so you can write in those or type inside of them on your iPad or laptop. So I know y'all looking at my list and y'all probably like, well, why does she have all this other stuff on here that has nothing to do with nursing school? But actually it does, okay? So a lot of people don't realize this, but nursing school is not just about what you read in a textbook or what you hear or learn from a lecture, but a lot of it has to do with your mental health and total well-being. And I talk a lot about automations and organizations, because that's literally 50% of nursing school and successfully mastering nursing school, okay? So I have a blender on there, so that way you can make breakfast on the go. It's a quick way to make breakfast. It's nutritious, and you can still study while you drinking that protein shake, instead of making a full course breakfast with a meat, 2 sides, and a bread. I mean, that's cool and all. It's not something that is realistic every day of the week for a nursing student. Also, I have on there the meal prep kits, which is great. And I know a lot of people do not like to eat the same things, 7 days a week. That's traditionally like how meal prep goes. However, one thing I recommend to students is if you have a study group with like 7 people, for example, I suggest that on the day that y'all meet up, everybody disperse a meal. So myself, I would, prepare a meal, and I would make enough to divide them amongst 7 different boxes, right? And then my study partner A, for example, she would do the same thing. Study partner B, he would do the same thing, right? And then on the day that's our day to meet for our study group, everybody would bring their meal, divided up already into their boxes, and we would, exchange our meals. So eventually everybody will have 7 meals. So that way you're not eating the same thing every day, because on day 1, I'm eating what I made. Day 2, I'm eating what study partner A made. Day 3, I'm eating what study partner B made, and so forth and so on. This is something that I continue to recommend, and a lot of people love the idea. It's realistic, it's fun, and when you meal prep, it prevents you from having to cook a meal every day or eat out every day, and then you're feeling like sluggish and fatigued because you're not eating a well-balanced meal. So like I said, there are a lot of things on my list that don't seem like they're traditionally something that you'll use for nursing school, but everything on the list definitely is for nursing. And if you read my book, The Ultimate Guide to Mastering Nursing School, I talk a lot about these things, about the different things you can do to master nursing school. And it's not solely about what you learn in a textbook or from a lecture, but also you want to make sure that you're doing things to help keep you organized, to help keep you focused, to help keep you motivated. That's a big part of mastering nursing school. Comment in the chat down below and tell me some of the things that have helped you along the way while you're in nursing school. And don't forget to, try some of these things out. Send me a review of how they, positively affected you. Some of the things on my list, if you like them, if you did not like them, just let me know what you think.